Are you ready to knock 2 more blocks off our list? You know you are. Hi everyone, Cristin here, and we are continuing with our Enchanted Winter Quilt with our sponsor, Daylily Fabric Shop. So we're just jamming along. We have all of section 1 complete, and then we have worked on section 2. We did the Welcome Winter block and the Tundra Florals block, Tundra Florals. And then yesterday, we did the really pretty pine tree. I think it was pine tree 2, if I recall. Isn't that pretty? I love this, and it's so soft. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. And we added in our filler block, and I'm excited to see everybody popping up with what they're doing with their filler block. This was for filler block number 4, and I added the snowflakes on, and I showed you how to and where I got the design and all the information. And then for our section 2 that we did previously, we have our other snowflake. And then for section 3, we have our piece corner block that we've already done. So we are ahead of the game. And today we're going to get another 2 blocks. They're going to be, one of them is going to be pretty detailed, and then one is going to be super duper simple. So I figured, why not add it in? All right. And you can add it in later. It's not absolutely necessary for right now. Totally up to you what works for you. I just figure if there's a little extra room in the hoop, I'd rather use up that space. So let's talk about what we need today. We're going to work on Dear Friend today. Dear Friend. So Dear Friend is on page 31. It's for section 2, which is what we're working on. And like I said, we're going to add in a little tiny something, but again, that's whatever works for you. All right, so Dear Friend on page 31. So we are going to start with this super pretty blue tufted fabric. Isn't that beautiful? I love this one. I love the color of it. So this one, we're going to start with that 8.5 by 10.5. So you can see it's a really big piece. It's bigger than my head. So make sure to stabilize this. It's absolutely necessary to ward off puckering. All right, so make sure to stabilize your main fabric. Again, this is going to be 8.5 by 10.5 for our main fabric. All right, and then where should I put this? Running out of space. All right, and then we have our applique pieces. So for the outer body, we have this gray with white dots on it fabric. And let's see, does it say iron fusible to backing to the wrong side of all fabric? So it does recommend that you back this with fusible stabilizer, like I've always recommended. I like it on my applique pieces. And one thing, I noticed is, so on this one, I purposely did them all a 1/2 inch smaller on the stabilizer, which is great. It's especially nice for the white fabrics, but I like it to go all the way to the edge. I've decided that I prefer it all the way to the edge because that's what helps take away all those little stringy pieces when you're cutting your applique pieces. So just something to keep in mind for next time. So our outer body fabric, gray with little white dots on it, is going to be 4.5 by 4.5. All right. And again, backed with fusible stabilizer, 4.5 by 4.5. And then we have the inner body and the ears. And this one is a white with little white dots on it fabric. And this is the one I was saying it's nice to have the stabilizer cut in a little bit because you could easily tell the front from the back. All right. So that's why I did it. So on this one, we are going to have this. This is for the inner body and the ears. And we're going to have this also be at 4.5 by 4.5, backed with fusible stabilizer. You want to make sure to back this applique piece. It's actually probably going to be on the gray, but it'll also be on that blue. And that's why you just don't want the colors pulling out. You want to make sure it's stabilized enough that it's keeping the white. All right, so 4.5 by 4.5. It is the white with little tiny dots on it. All right, you can barely see them because it's white on white, but that's what it is. All right, and then our last piece is the white applique glitter ice. This is for the ice underneath the snowman's feet. Cute, cute, cute. So this one we're going to have 5.5 by 1.5. It did come in our embellishment kit. So if you're not seeing it in your fabric kit, that's why it's in your embellishment kit. And as always, and I'll tell you when we get there, but we always want to take off the top there. It's got like this, like a backing, but it's on the top. So a topping, and it's like a, I don't know what you call it, but something to keep it safe. And so we want to make sure to take that off on this, and it's not letting me do it while I'm on camera, of course. There we go. All right, so the white glitter is just this thin little piece of vinyl, but this on top of it, the plastic coating, is what you want to make sure to take off. All right, and we will probably iron this in place a little bit. I'll go over that when we get there. But your applique glitter, white glitter, oh, that's going to be really pretty, like the snow under the deer's feet. So 5.5 by 1.5. All right, and make sure to take off that topping, and I'll try and remember to tell you when we get there as well. All right, and then we have our batting. So our batting is going to be 7 by 9. Batting is 7 by 9. All right, so that means we're going to have a pretty big quilting design. So we'll talk about that real quick too. So batting 7 by 9. All right, and then our quilting design is going to be plant 15 in a 6 by 8, which means it'll be 6.5 by 8.5. So that's why I want to make sure to point that out for those of you that have your 6 by 10 hoop. If that's your biggest hoop, I'm going to use a bigger hoop. But if 6 by 10 is your biggest hoop, like I've said on all the other videos that have a bigger quilting design, you can take out steps 3 and 4 of the quilting design to make that fit. That if you take out steps 3 and 4, it makes the design 6 by 10. If you don't take it out, then it makes the design 6.5 by 8.5. I shouldn't have said 10. 6.5 by 8.5 versus 6 by 8. All right, so let's see, is there any other, don't forget to get your glitter out of your embellishment kit, and everything else looks fine. So I'll go over all of that step by step, and then I'm thinking we add one more. All right, and this will be a very simple one just because we have a little bit of extra room in our hoop. So I'm thinking we will do, which one is it? Filler block number 6. All right, the filler blocks are on page 45 of your book, and it is the white with blue dots on it. And we are going to start, of course I didn't write this down, the quilting design is 2 by 4, so that means we want the fabric to be 3 by 5. All right, 3 by 5. In your book it'll say 2.5 by 4.5 or 3 by 5. I definitely recommend the 3 by 5. It makes it a lot easier to make sure that it's not pulling in from the stitches. So cutting your fabric just a little bit bigger, and like I've mentioned before in the Kimberbell book this time, it has it at that 1/2 inch extra, so that really is helpful. So 3 by 5 for your filler block. I do recommend backing it with fusible stabilizer. We are going to quilt it. I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm not going to do anything to this one, but you could. It's not a super busy fabric, but I have plans for others, so I'm not doing this one. So 3 by 5 for your fabric, all right, and then also 3 by 5 for your batting. Same thing, all right, 3 by 5 for your batting and for your filler block fabric. And that's it. That's all we're going to do today. The deer and that tiny little filler block with no add-ons to it. I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you how to merge those two together. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So I'll walk you through all of that step by step as always. And that's it. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey everyone, I'm at my computer now, and we're just going to very simply add in 2 blocks and do a color sort so that we can have the quilting design of them both running together. So that's the plan here. So I'm going to open up Brilliance Essentials, and right down here at the bottom it says I'm on my 10 by 10 hoop. We won't need nearly that big. I think actually even I'm going to go for my 7 by 12, I think. So I'm going to go up to this preferences folder and click on my 7 by 12 hoop and say okay. I haven't already tested this, so we'll see if that fits. And then come up to the compass button here and click on H for hoop. All right, so we're going to start by bringing in the quilting design for the Dear Friend design. So I am going to open up a folder. This has the design from before. Let's see, I'm going to go to my Enchanted Winter designs, and I'm going to find that quilting design, quilting bundle right there, and it is the Plant 15, if I recall, Plant 15 in a 6 by 8 design. So Plant 15, embroidery files, block by block, Pez, and then 6 by 8. Right there. click on that, drag it over. You can do it that way, or you can go to this merge stitch file and navigate to the folder. Either way works great. All right, so there's that design. While I'm here, I'm going to bring in that deer design. I was going to do it a little differently today and decided against it. So I'm going to, all right, so back to my folder here, and I'm going to find those final designs right there, embroidery files, Pez, and we're looking for the deer friends, 6x10 deer friends. So grab that, drag it over, and it goes right to the center. And we want it centered? Let's make sure. So it says align the block embroidery file with the quilting design file so that both files are centered. I was a little concerned we might need to bring it down, but we don't, so that's great. All right, so that one is done. We'll need to make some adjustments to the colors and so forth, but for now I'm just gonna click on both of these and I'm going to move them up. So I just dragged from the bottom up. That's an easy way to be able to get them both. You can also group it and all that. I'm not going to bother right now. All right, and then I want to bring in the quilting design for the border block. It's number 6. So that is Winter 8 in a 2x4. So I'm going to go back to my folder. All right, so back to my folder here, and I am just looking for the quilting designs. I think I was already in it actually. No, it's in the deer. That's right. All right, so winter, what did I say? Winter block 6. Yep, block 6, winter 8. All right, winter 8. And then embroidery files, Pez, and we want the 2x4 right there. Click on it, drag it over. It will go to the center, which is fine. I'm going to click on it. Now, if you click on it here, it's easy to grab other things. So I'm just going to click on it in my objects window, and I'm going to rotate it with this blue arrow here, and then click outside, because once you rotate it, it doesn't let you use your keyboard for some reason. So I'm going to click on it again in the objects window, design number 3, and I'm just going to bring it down. And you can see why I added it today. It's like the perfect little fit right there. So just using up our hoop space, why not, right? All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click on this number 3 design. I'm going to right click on it and say move earlier, because I want it to do the quilting designs together and then the deer afterward. I did bring the deer in now because I want him centered, and I didn't, it's easier to, or quicker to do it this way versus doing an align and distribute. So I'm going to open up number 1 by clicking that plus sign, and I'm just going to change these colors real quick so that the ones that I want will join. So I'm going to click on default blue 1-1, click on the color in the properties window, and I'm going to change it to oriental blue. And then 1-2, click on the color, I want pumpkin. 1-3, click on the color, and I want the second color down. For me, that's bluebird. And then 1-4, click on the color, I'm going to choose Jubilee. And then the quilting design, I'm going to click on the color. This is 1-5, I'm choosing Sprout. All right, and then I'm going to open up number 2 design and do the same colors except for that last quilting design, just to decide when I get there what color I want it to be. So 2-1, click on the color, and I want the same color I used before so that it will join. So I'm choosing Oriental Blue. And then 2-2, click on the color, I want pumpkin. 2-3, click on the color, I want bluebird. 2-4, click on the color, and I want Jubilee. So don't forget, it doesn't matter what colors you're using, we want them to be the same so that they will join. All right, and then 2-5, click on the color, I want something different so that it will create a stop, and I'm going to choose the second color down. For me, that's Sea Mist. All right, so those are done. I'm going to close those. And then I'm going to open up Dear Friend just to take a quick look. So we've got Robin Egg Linen. This is why I was going to do the align and distribute, because otherwise I'll have to change these colors too, because I don't want these to join. So this is important. So there was an easier way if we were doing, in fact, we can do partial. We'll do a partial that way. So I'm going to say File, New Page. And I'm going to come back to Untitled 1, and I'm going to choose that Dear Friend. Let's see. Maybe I'll do all of them. I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to click all of them and hit Control C to copy and come to Untitled 2 and hit Control V like victory to paste. All right, so then it's keeping that deer right where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to take on this first one, I'm going to delete this deer. All right, and I'm just going to do my color sort now, and then I'm going to bring the deer back in. So simple, easy way to do it. All right, so I'm going to do a color sort now because I've already changed my colors in the way that I need it. I think it probably says there's 10 colors down there. It's hard to see with my software in the way, but we should be able to reduce it by 4. So let's do a utility color sort and make sure you have these same settings that I have, and it's reduced it by 4. So I'm going to click New View. It opens a third tab, and now all of those 2 quilting designs are together in one step. So I'm just going to check it real quick. There's the placement for the batting, the tack down for the batting, the placement for the main fabric, the tack down for the main fabric, the first quilting design, and the second quilting design. Perfect. All right, so the parts that I wanted to join are joined, and the parts that I didn't want to are not. So I'm going to go back to this number 2, and I'm going to grab that deer friend, and I think it'll stay where he is, but I'm not absolutely sure. So let's just see. I'm going to say Control C to copy that deer and come to Untitled 3, and I'm going to say Control V. Oh, good. I was a little concerned he might go to the center, but he didn't. He went right back where he was, so that's perfect. All right, so then we don't have to do a color sort on the deer because we're going to work on that all separately anyway. It's just keeping our quilting designs together so that we're not on and off with the hoop. All right, so that's all perfect. This is done. That was super simple. I'm using my 7x12 hoop. I'm going to do a file save as. All right, and I'm already in my file, so that's perfect. So I'm going to go 7x12 deer and filler 6. Or block 6. That's what I'm naming mine, whatever works for you. So it changes the name for it, so that's good. I'm going to say Wi-Fi to brother. If you don't have that option, I wonder if we were to just name it in that. I'll have to try that one time. There's so many things that you're like, oh, I wonder if this will work, and then it does. It's super cool. All right, so we'll try that on another one, and I didn't even tell you what I'm thinking of yet, but we'll get there. All right, so it's sent to my machine. If you don't have a Wi-Fi ready machine, you just save it to your USB stick and bring it over to your machine. So we're ready to go. That was really easy. Let's get stitching. and my shirt today. I just did this one like a week ago and haven't worn it yet. This is my first time wearing it. So the sweater is that same one that I have in bright pink gray, teal. I think I bought another, like a blue, if I recall. I don't remember now, but I've got this in several colors because I like it. It's a good fit. It's a good feel to it. And the design is from Etsy. I will add information under this video of where you can find the design. But you know, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So of course I'm wearing my new breast cancer sweater. I am a breast cancer survivor, as most of you know, because many of you made this amazing quilt for me a few years ago. So I have a couple more years on the cancer medication that keeps me from a recurrence, hopefully. And then I may be done. We'll see. I meet with my oncologist a couple of times a year, and he gives me all the information. So I know a lot of people in our group are breast cancer survivors. So I applaud each of you. You're amazing. You're warriors and so strong. And so Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So wear your pink if you've got it. I'm definitely enjoying this sweater. This is a fun one and a great design from Etsy. And like I said, I'll share the information on the sweater, which is in my Amazon storefront. I'll add a link here. You can find all the sweaters that I recommend there. And then I'll also add information about where I found the design. And how are you doing with your goal? I did not work out today. I'm pretty happy about it, actually. We all need a day off every now and then, and I haven't pushed it super hard. Well, I really did to finish that goal. So it's nice to get a day off either way, get a little extra work time. So no workout for me today. Yesterday, after I met my 80-mile goal, I was a little over 80 miles, and yesterday I did like 3.5-mile walk, I think, about that, something, maybe 4, I don't remember. So I did still get more mileage, but nothing today. I decided not to. I am tomorrow because there's a strength challenge I'm working on with iFit, and a couple more days, so it's only through October, and so I'm going to finish that off tomorrow. I have one more workout in that series. So you get these little digital rewards when you do an iFit challenge. So I already got one of them for the running challenge, and now I want the one for the strength. And even though it's the same thing, it's a good, whatever works for you to be able to keep you centered on your goals and focused and working on the things. So my other goal, less hand holding. Not great, but I'm trying. I'm really trying. It's hard. And there's just so much. I mean, we have more than 10,000 followers now. I don't know if you knew that, but we've got 10,000 people joining on our projects now. And so there's obviously going to be lots of questions and lots of pulling in different directions when I'm trying to work on the tutorials. And the cool thing though, so yesterday someone asked about a design from a year ago. Where did I find this design that's on my shirt? And I'm like, oh gosh, for me to have to go and look that up. I mean, it's actually pretty simple, and I did mention how to do it, but she had trouble and couldn't do it herself, and so I could have stopped everything I was working on and go and research that for her, and I didn't. I was really proud of myself. So there are times that I'm able to do it, and I kind of put it in the back of my head, like I'll come back to this. And in the meantime, everybody in the group jumped in and they're like, oh, here's how you find that information, and here's a link to it, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. That works for me. I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm really thankful for our Cristin Creates group on Facebook. They're so helpful, so kind. So if you have a question, post it in the group, and most likely somebody's going to know the answer or point you to where you can find the answer. And so that's super helpful. And so I'm doing better at the less constant replies, helping out too quickly. In fact, a gal made a donation to our group yesterday, and she sent me a message right after because she didn't include any information in her donation, which I hadn't even looked at yet. And she did the donation, then immediately sent me a message with all of her information saying she forgot. And I was like, that's great. Like, everybody's learning to be careful with their time. You know, I mean, everybody knows how much time it takes to make these tutorials, or at least hopefully you can imagine what it takes to make these tutorials. And it's quite a process. It's quite a lot of time. And so it's super helpful when our community is helping out so that I can stay focused on that. I'm so thankful. So I may not be doing super great at my goal, but my community, my tribe is carrying me through. And what could be better, right? That's just amazing. So I'm very thankful. So tell me how you're doing with your goal. What is your action plan? What are you checking off of the list? I want to hear all about it.